We're going to go to this other nightmare. Oh my God. People lost their shit. Last night, when I finished my call-in show, I went on to Twitter and all of a sudden I started to see RIP Twitter. Twitter is done. Tumblr. Do we go to Facebook? And I'm like, what is this about? So I do a little bit of digging to find out that once again, Elon Musk has stepped in it. Stepped in it. So let's go ahead and get into this discussion here. After Elon Musk ultimatum, Twitter employees start exiting. And this is another way of using your leverage. When you have great numbers, it's easier to piece the fuck out. Let's just be real. Let's go into the article here. Hundreds of Twitter Inc. employees are estimated to have decided to quit the beleaguered social media company following a Thursday deadline from new owner Elon Musk that staffers sign up for long hours of high intensity or leave. So again, this is capitalism at play. This is Elon Musk trying to make more money as if he needs more money because of greed. Let's go on. Tech employees usually work long hours anyway. And he wanted them to work more. The departures highlight the reluctance of some of Twitter's 3,000 or so employees to remain at a company where Musk earlier fired half of the workforce, including top management, and is ruthlessly changing the culture to emphasize long hours and intense pace. Boy, I tell you, Musk took to Twitter late on Thursday and said that he was not worried about resignations as the best people are staying. The billionaire also added, "We just hit another all-time high in Twitter usage," without elaborating. Musk met some top employees on Thursday to try to convince them to stay, said one current employee and a recently departed employee who is in touch with Twitter colleagues. The company also notified employees that it will close its offices and cut badge access until Monday, according to sources. Security officers began kicking some employees out of one office on Thursday evening. Over 110 Twitter employees across at least 4 continents had announced their decision to leave in public Twitter posts reviewed by Reuters. Though each resignation could not be independently verified, about 15 employees, many in ad sales, posted their intention to stay at the company. In Twitter internal chat tool, over 500 employees wrote farewell messages on Thursday. A poll on the workplace app Blind, which verifies employees through their work email addresses and allows them to share information anonymously, had showed 42% of 180 respondents opting for Twitter taking exit option, "I'm free." A quarter said they had chosen to stay reluctantly, and only 7% of the poll participants say they clicked yes to stay, "I'm hardcore." The exact numbers of employees intending to leave the company could not be immediately established. Twitter did not respond for a request of comment. By the way, Elon Musk is making jokes about this on Twitter. I don't know if you've been on Twitter today or if all of you are on Twitter. He's making jokes about it. Platform stability. The departures include many engineers responsible for fixing bugs and preventing service outages. Well. Raising questions about the stability of the platform amid the loss of employees. Let's go on. On Thursday evening, the version of Twitter app used by employees began slowing down. So this is where people started to panic. Now, I didn't have that experience last night. I didn't have that experience today. But initially, this is what made people on Twitter start to panic. So let's go on. If it does break, there is no one left to fix things in many areas. says the person who declined to be named for fear of retribution. Reports of Twitter outages rose sharply from less than 50 to about 350 reports on Thursday evening. Now, that's according to website Down Detector, which tracks website and app outages. In a private chat on Signal with about 50 Twitter staffers, nearly 40 said they had decided to leave. And in a private Slack group, Slack groups are never private. I'm just going to tell you. I have to say this. I'm sorry. I have to pause and say a lot of these groups that you think are private, they're not really private. Just keep that in mind. This is why I tell people don't say anything in a DM group that you don't want someone else to see. And a private Slack group for Twitter's current and former employees, about 360 people joined a new channel titled Voluntary Layoff. A separate poll on Blind asked staffers to estimate what percentage of people would leave Twitter based on their perception. More than half respondents estimated at least 50% of employees would leave. This is also what made a lot of people panic yesterday on Twitter, because the reality is if 50% of the employees leave, you're not going to be able to run this app. You'd have to have people running around the clock. You really need to have those engineers, by the way, like when there are bugs and there's issues with the app, you have to have those people. Early Wednesday, Musk had emailed Twitter employees saying, going forward, to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0 and succeed in an increasingly competitive world, we will need to be extremely hardcore. This guy, I tell you. The email asked staff to click yes if they wanted to stick around. Those who did not respond by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday would be considered to have quit and given a severance package. That's what the email said. As the deadline approached, employees scrambled to figure out what to do. One team within Twitter decided to take the leap together and leave the company. One employee who is leaving told Reuters. Blue hearts and salute emojis flooded Twitter and its internal chat rooms on Thursday, the second time in 2 weeks as Twitter employees said their goodbyes. Notable departures includes Tess Rennerson, who was tasked with building a cryptocurrency team at Twitter. Rennerson tweeted the blue heart and salute emojis. In an apparent jab at Musk's call for employees to be hardcore, the Twitter profile bios of several departing engineers on Thursday described themselves as softcore engineers or ex-hardcore engineers. As the resignations rolled in, Musk cracked a joke on Twitter. I told you guys, he was joking about this. How do you make a small fortune in social media? Start out with a large one. That came from Elon Musk. Whew. I do not know how much longer it is going to be around. Some people are expecting it to drop it up this weekend. I do have a video clip I want to play here. And I also want to show you where people are going right now in the event Twitter goes away. But I have to tell you something really quick. When I heard the news last night, instead of being worried or afraid, can I be honest with you guys? Part of me was relieved. Because I remember how things were before Twitter. I remember how things were before social media. And although I post on Twitter, Twitter can be a very toxic place, way more toxic than Facebook or any other app that I've used. And I have noticed that since I have been on Twitter, I spend way too much time on Twitter. So the fear that I think a lot of people were feeling was like, oh no, how am I going to communicate with people the same way we did before Twitter? This is one of the problems with social media. You know, we used to meet each other more so in person, and I felt like there was more communication done in person And I feel like some people have tried to replace that communication with online communication. And it's not the same. It really isn't. Sometimes you think, you're talking to someone that you're really not talking to. People aren't always who they say they are on these online platforms. So for me, I had to ask myself, if Twitter crashes, is that the end of the world? No, it's not. If people want to contact you, can they find another way to contact you? Yes, they can. But what was really scary was the fact that we rely on this app so much. That was very scary. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been things about Twitter that have really helped. If it wasn't for Twitter, I would have never met Rome or CJ or Nick or JB. If it wasn't for Twitter, RBN wouldn't have grown as fast as it did. A lot of our views in the beginning was coming from our promotions on Twitter, us putting our content out there on Twitter. So that was what was bringing people over initially, because YouTube was not, the algorithm was not trying to dance with us. So there were pros about it. There are people that I've met on Twitter that I've been able to meet in real life, other activists in person. So yes, Twitter introduced me to them. But the more I look at it, most of the time when I scroll down my feed on Twitter, I just see a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, arguing, a lot of negativity. I don't see a lot of positive tweets. I really don't. Maybe it's because I'm in independent media. Who knows? But for most part, I don't see that. Where are people going, though? So I do want to share this with you because I already created a profile over at this site. It sort of looks like Twitter, but it's a little bit different. And I want to play this video for you here. I can't play the entire video here, but it compares the difference between the two. And I just want to show you what it looks like. Just going to play a little bit of this. So I do have a profile over there. I went ahead and got that going, but here we go.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Explorographer, and today we're going to be talking about a brand new social platform called Mastodon. And what makes Mastodon different from other social platforms is that it is completely decentralized, which means that you can run your own server or you can join a friend's server and keep it all local just between your friends.
Okay, I want to interrupt right there. This is the part that confuses some people. The thing about Mastodon, when you go to create a profile on that site, it asks you to select a server. There's multiple servers that are mentioned, and there's different categories for those servers. So where some people got confused is they thought, okay, I signed up, I picked this server, I have a profile, I'm on there now, but my friend is on a different server. So how can I communicate with them? You can still communicate with them. For example, I signed up, I'm under the journalism server, right? So the Newsies, I'm on Newsies, right? Ron Baclone is on a different server, but I can still see Ron Baclone's post. I still followed him. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that because I don't want people to get confused, because when I first saw that, I was like, what? Why you got to pick a server? Then, but the other thing about Mastodon is that it is decentralized. And from what I've seen so far, when I've been over on there, I haven't seen a lot of drama. It seems to be a little bit more like, I don't know, straightforward. Now, to say this, that does not mean this platform does not have censorship. They do. I want to be clear about that. And I just thought about Panquake and the fact that now would have been a good time for Panquake to have started, to have launched. I don't know where they are in the process of that. Hit that like button, guys.
And also stay connected to main hubs in the outside world. And that's really a good thing. It's not run by any one company. It is free and available to the public, and there's no advertising. It's awesome. So today I thought I'd show you how to get started with Mastodon. And if you like this sort of content, please give me a like, subscribe, you know, all the things to do on YouTube. Hit the notification bell, and I'll make some more of these videos. Let me know down in the comments if that's what you're into. So let's get started with your first Mastodon account. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to go to joinmastodon.org, and you can get the app for your phone, or you can actually log in online and use it through a web browser like I'm doing. So I'm going to show you the web browser way, but you can get the app for your phone and it'll be pretty similar. So let's take a look and find a server here. So the very first thing you're going to do is need to find a server. Now, if you've got a friend who's giving you like a recommendation or an invite, you can always just join their server. But there's also public servers out there that are fairly large and fairly safe to join. And one of those is the mastodon.social server. That's kind of like the beginning server to join. So you can get started there if you want. Here is the Mastodon server, and you can go ahead and click the join button. Now, basically, what you're going to need to do when you get here is you're going to need to create an account. Now, this is an instance. So when you first create an account, set it up, and this will be a brand new place. So I'm just going to basically use the account that I currently have.
Just want to pause here. When you go to create an account, this is what it's going to show you, the ground rules. So it says like no sexually explicit or violent media, no spam or advertising, no racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, or casteism, no incitement of violence or promotion of violent ideologies, no harassment, dogpiling, or doxing of other users, and no illegal content. So just FYI, this is not a site that is not censored. So I do want to put that out there.
And then that way I can show you, but you'll have to fill this out yourself. So we'll go ahead and do here. And you can follow me if you like on Mastodon, and I will provide a link down in the description of this video so that it takes you directly to my account. So once you've got all of your information filled in, all you need to do at that point is hit the sign up button, and you will get an email that you'll need to confirm. So you just go to your email, confirm that. It will look like this, and you'll need to verify your email address.
Okay, one other thing I want to add. Yes, you'll get the email to verify your email address, and then you can start using your account. However, some of the servers you have to be approved to use. So the one that I'm on, the Newsy server for like journalists, that server actually requires approval. So I had to wait a couple of hours before they approved it. And then they sent me approval email and said, okay, yes, you can be on this server. That's important for people to note. The ones that ask you to, that require approval, it will say that when you go to sign up, it'll say apply. Whereas the other ones, you can just jump right on and join. So just keep that in mind. There are some that they're very particular about. They want you to know, they want people to prove that they are who they are and you're doing what you say that you're doing. So just keep that in mind.
Let's just click that button. And then that will bring you to your first page. And you can start following people here if you want. What I do is like to set up my overall screen the way I see it. So the first thing you'll want to do is come into edit profile, fill out all of your information here. You can add a header, you can add an avatar, all of that kind of stuff. You can set it up for require follow requests and all that. You can go ahead and do all of that on your own. You can also put in bios and your links here for your website or other socials that you might be on. And one of the things that I think is very important that you do actually set up here, let me save those changes, okay, is come to preferences. This is one of the first things you'll want to do. And you want to enable advanced web interface. So if you're going to be on the web, of course, it's a little different if you're on mobile, but if you're going to be on the web version of this or the desktop, definitely set that up. All right. And then go ahead and hit save changes once more. Now, when you come back to Mastodon, it's going to look like this. Now, this is very familiar to anybody who's used TweetDeck or Twitter or any of those kind of things for Twitter, very nice setup here. Your basic setup is going to be 3 feeds. You're going to have your home, or what they call your feed that is curated, and then you're going to have a local feed, which is everything that's going on your current server, and then you're going to have a federated timeline. And the federated timeline is basically all of the servers together.
Right. I'm not going to let him go too much further in there because I don't want to confuse people, but I am going to share that link with you guys so you can see this full video. I'm just going to be honest with you and keep it real. It's just easier if you do it on the app. Okay. Because when you do it on the app, what he's talking about with the feed and the different servers and things like that, it will just look, it kind of looks similar to what Twitter looks like on the Twitter app, but just don't do it on the web interface. I'm just being honest with you. But a lot of people have already moved over there. That started last night. That includes some of you guys, some of the RBN members, other commentators, other people in independent media. They've already moved over there. So I posted mine on Twitter. I will link it going forward in all of my videos. I'll put that link there so people know where they can come and follow me. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen if Twitter is even going to be up this weekend. So we have to have some other place to go, I guess, so we can still kind of converse with each other. But this was all just an interesting eye opener to me, because it just goes to show you how much we really have been depending on social media. Now, a lot of people were panicking, man. So it was kind of freak out. It was kind of a freak out. Monarch said, Mastodon sounds like Discord 2.0, Sabby. Kind of, yeah. It does kind of remind me of that in a way, but I think it's easier on the mobile app. I'm just being honest because I looked at both interfaces, but you should still do it as you should still have a backup, you guys, regardless if Twitter shuts down or not. Nobody knows what Elon is up to. He's just kind of gone rogue and he's made some bad decisions here. The other thing is too, some people have also moved over to Tumblr as well. And some people are contemplating trying to do Facebook again. I don't really think Facebook is the place for the type of discussions that we have. I still do have a Sabby Sabs Facebook page where I just post my videos. But in terms of like interaction and engaging with each other, I don't find Facebook to be that great for that from politically, from the experiences that I've had. But you can also check out Tumblr as well. But I did want to let you guys know where people are going, because I don't want to just tell you, here's the problem, and then not tell you, okay, what can you do? Right. But some people are already over there. I think Katie Halper's already over there. I know Ron Paclone is already over there. So good idea to do it for backup anyway, just in case. All right. And anyone that you follow on Twitter that you don't want to lose, like, that's why I think you should go ahead and set up an account over there and give them your profile. So that way they can follow you over there too. Or you can do things the old fashioned way, guys, and just get each other's email address and their phone numbers. We could do that, guys. Just kidding. I'm not giving out my number.